right, welcome back to the Better Lives podcast. I'm your host, Rebecca, Senior Manager of Community Engagement, and I am so excited to be here today. So today we are spotlighting Dial-A-Bus, a local nonprofit providing accessible transportation in Benton County. And joining us, we have two riders, Ron and Esmeralda, along with one of Dial-A-Bus's dedicated volunteer drivers, Richard. Thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, very happy to be here.
Absolutely. So I think that we can just dive in and we really want to just hear your stories, get to know you all a little bit more. So I think, just to kick this off, Esmeralda, since you have kind of shared a little bit with us already, let's just start by getting to know you a little bit. What is something that you'd like to share about yourself? It could be background, interests, and, kind of what a typical day typically looks like for you these days.
Well, I'm more sedentary than I normally was. I was electric once upon a time. But I'm 82 years old, and I came here in 2002 from California after retiring from New York after 55 years. And so I got here in 2002, the day before my wedding, to get married, and I got married at the Art Center and celebrated at the theater.
In Corvallis?
Yeah.
In Corvallis. And what did you do back in New York? What was your career?
I was director of personnel of the City University of New York.
Wow. That's a big job.
Yeah. It was the second largest city urban, 21 campuses in the 5 boroughs, so it was a pretty hectic job. I had to travel back and forth through the 5 boroughs, and it was pretty hectic. I had thousands of employees, and so thousands of problems.
Wow. We have 100 here at the credit union, and that gets hard. So I can't imagine over 1,000.
In 5 locations.
That's amazing. And what brought you to Corvallis?
I came here the day before my wedding, actually, because I had met a gentleman online, and we had been talking back and forth for a while, and eventually we got engaged, and he asked me to get married, and so I came here to get married, and I've been here since.
That's amazing. Anything else you want to share about yourself, or do we want to?
Well, I was pretty active in Corvallis prior, the beginning, and I was director of the NAACP for a few years there, and I'm involved with the Masons and the Eastern Star, and so I still try to keep very busy.
You seem that way. Absolutely. So busy, and really it seems to be that you are community driven kind of in your career and all of the additional volunteer activities that you've done in your life. You seem to be very community focused.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. I'm going to switch over here to Ron. If you could tell us just a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background and some of your interests, maybe, what a typical day looks like for you these days.
I retired from Benton quite a few years ago now, and like to fish. And I've been active all my life, physically active, and I enjoy the outdoors. I'm an outdoors guy. I like to fish the ocean. I can't do that very much now. I became vision impaired 2.5 years ago. I got an infection in my eye, and I've had glaucoma for 50 years. So my days are more limited now. Dial-A-Bus helps me a lot. And Benton Area Transit, that's a combination of the two. And I use it every weekday.
Wow.
They take me up to the saddle so I can walk in McDonald Forest, and then I get a ride to the gym some afternoons. So it keeps me active. Without that, I'd just be stuck at home most of the time. It makes a really huge difference in my life. I've stayed reasonably healthy except for my eyes because of the opportunity I have with them, and I appreciate it a lot. Without that, I'd be depressed every day, and I'd weigh 40 or 50 pounds more and have serious medical problems.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more, like what did you do in your career?
I help people learn about mathematics. I taught at Benton, retired from
wow.
there. I was on the math faculty there.
That is my toughest subject. Everyone always told me one day it'll click. It never clicked.
That's what we were talking about.
Really?
In the car, about how people are afraid of math.
Yes, afraid of math. I think that's a great way to put it. And maybe that barrier in itself stops people from really kind of getting interested in it as well. So that's incredible.
It often does, but I encourage you to take a math class from Benton. There's some really good instructors there, and they'll help you understand it.
I know I might have to now. Now that I said that out loud, it'll be recorded. So, but well, thank you so much for sharing that. And I think kind of going back to what you said of like being active has always kind of been a huge part of your life.
It has.
And so even where you are now, to have a service that can link you and to keep you active seems to be a very integral piece of keeping you happy and keeping you doing the things that matter the most to you.
Oh, it is. I tell the drivers most of the time when I get out of the van or the bus what it means to me. The people that work there are wonderful. I have had, in 2.5 years using the service, I've had no bad experiences, not a one.
That's incredible. That's incredible. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. I think we're going to move on now. We have one of our amazing, dedicated volunteer drivers, Richard. Thank you so much for being here, Richard.
No, you're welcome.
Well, we definitely want to hear from you because I think that perspective of like really being a part of this and being a driver, you probably get to see the impact of this service on so many different people. But before that, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourself? Where are you from? And maybe even how did you get involved in Dial a Bus to begin with?
Well, started in Indiana.
Very cool.
Apprentice electrician, journeyman electrician, started going to Purdue to get my engineering degree. Finally got that after 16 years, working full-time, going to school part-time.
Wow, no way.
Oh, yeah. They changed a lot. Went from vacuum tubes to transistors. So that tells you about how old I am. Anyway, had my wife wanted her master's degree, so we moved to Fort Collins, Colorado, so she could get her master's in communications at CSU.
Wow.
And we formed our own business, had our own small subchapter S corporation for 15 years.
That's amazing.
Until 2008, which the economic debacle, suddenly I had no work. And I knew a gentleman who I had done work for 10 years, and he was here in Corvallis at ATS, which is, they no longer exist. But he said, come on out, I'll put you to work. So 2009, I moved here, and I've been here ever since.
And you love it?
Oh, yeah, no. We love Colorado, but the winters here are more moderate. You don't have to fight the snow. And, yeah, no, we built a home 10 years ago. We're home. This is home.
That's amazing. I relate to that I'm from upstate New York, and so the winters are just, brutal. And when I moved here, people were always like, oh, the rain, like it can get really dreary. But until you are in negative weather up in upstate New York and you walk outside and your hair freezes because it's so cold, I think a little rain, we can handle a little rain. And I know Indiana gets cold too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. And how did you get involved with Dial a Bus? Like, what is that story?
Well, my mother was in Arizona living by herself, and she took a fall. So I flew down and was there at the hospital and then got her over to rehab. We determined that she could not live alone. So we got a non-emergency ambulance ride, 19 hours from Surprise, Arizona to Philomath.
Wow.
We live in Philomath. And so she came to live with us. And she was in a wheelchair and had a boot on the one foot. And I needed to get her to doctor's appointments. So Dial a Bus. Called those folks, and they were able to help us.
How did you find Dial a Bus? Did someone tell you about it, or did you just find it on your own?
That's a good question. So my wife was involved with disabilities back in Colorado, and I think because they had Dial-A-Ride in Fort Collins, and I think she suggested that I find the local paratransit, and I believe that's how we came upon Dial-A-Bus.
Wow. Yeah, so really kind of word of mouth and just knowing what resources were back in Fort Collins. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing that. Esmeralda, how did you first get connected with Dial-A-Bus? What is that story?
Well, I unfortunately had a stroke about 2 years ago, and so that kind of left me a little messed up. So I couldn't drive, and I had read about Dial-A-Bus in the Gazette Times, and so I applied and I was approved. And that's how I got involved with Dial-A-Bus. And fortunately, a little while after my stroke, I had a heart attack, and I had to have triple heart bypass surgery.
Oh, wow.
So I was really messed up for a while there. And so I was in home care. I got discharged from home care, and I had to go to outpatient physical therapy. And so I applied. That's how I got approved. And thankfully, I was so grateful because I could barely make it down the steps. They had taken 3 veins out of my legs, so it was very difficult to walk. And the driver's helping me down the steps, up into the vehicle in the car, fasten me, and just deliver me safely. That was one of the things I appreciated. Safely. And not only that, the drivers are just wonderful folks. Conversations, just that human touch.
Yes.
I'm at home by myself with the dogs. I don't talk to anyone but the dog. So when I get out and get to, it's really wonderful. I mean, and just even the touching, help.
Absolutely.
Holding my hand, and some I've gotten so close to that I get hugs, and it's wonderful. So I'm very grateful. They've a lot of meaning in my life.
Absolutely. So I feel like just from what you just said, that it's not just a ride. It's not just a ride. It's about the connection, building relationships, and not, being able to connect with people in a way that maybe without it you wouldn't have that human connection. So, that's kind of what I'm hearing from you. It's the ride is almost kind of,
Well, before the ride, when you first contact them, the dispatchers are so wonderful. I mean, they know me by my name, and they really try very hard to get me the ride I need.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, stroke made me forget, and I forget to call on time, and they really go out of their way. The dispatchers, those ladies are beautiful. I love them all. They're wonderful.
Oh, that's so great.
And the drivers.
Great drivers.
Wonderful. I love them. They're all wonderful.
Oh, that's awesome.
They mean a lot to me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. And I think, Ron, how did you get connected with Dial-A-Bus? What's your story?
A friend suggested it. He happens to be a Benton County commissioner, but he suggested it to me when I needed the help. And I agree with what Esmeralda said about the quality of the people. They're wonderful. I count many of the drivers and the ladies in the office amongst my friends now.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I've been riding for a little over 2.5 years now. And the ladies in the office know my voice. I don't even have to tell them who I am sometimes. They know. And they're friendly, they're efficient, they get things done, they're very, very helpful. The drivers, I talk to them unless I'm in. Some of the buses don't have seats up near the driver. They're towards the back because they have spaces for a couple of wheelchairs in there. And sometimes it's difficult to talk to them when we're out on the highway because I live a little bit north of Corvallis in Lewisburg. And I have good conversations with them. I mean, it just, I know their names, they know me, It's nice. It's part of the social thing. Like Esmeralda, I live alone. Part of the social connection.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for sharing. I think kind of moving into, we definitely just want to, you've all kind of alluded to it, but what does having access to Dial-A-Bus mean for you personally? And I think we might even, maybe Richard, as a volunteer driver, you kind of have a different perspective here, but just based on what you see, how can you see this affecting the folks that you are driving?
Oh, some folks depend on us absolutely. Groceries,
I do.
doctor appointments. Yeah, it's very, very important to them. So it's a nice way for me to give back. Dial-A-Bus helped me when my mother needed help, and now I'm trying to give
beautiful.
back.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you. Thank you for your service on that.
You're
That's
welcome.
incredible. And I think that really is a testament to really what community is, and really all of us showing up for each other and supporting in the ways that we can. So we definitely are grateful that you are a part of this. And let's go back then to Ron. What you kind of have already alluded to this as well, but having access to Dial-A-Bus, like what does that really mean for you? And what does that mean for your life?
Without it, I can't see to use my tools anymore. I have a lot of tools, and I used to use my tools. I can't see to use my tools anymore. It'd be pretty unsafe. I listen to audiobooks a lot, and without Dial-A-Bus, I would pretty much just sit at home and listen to audiobooks. With them, I'm able to stay healthy because I walk 3 days a week, and I go to the gym 3 or 4 days a week. And I have a social connection. It's nice to talk to them. I talk to the ladies in the morning. You have to schedule with Dial-A-Bus, and I schedule basically a week out because if I don't, I'm not able to get the rides that I'd like. There's 2 ways to qualify for Dial-A-Bus that I know of. One is by age, which I meet, and the other one is by some kind of physical limitation, which I would also meet. But because I only use Dial-A-Bus occasionally for medical appointments, a lot of my appointments are in Salem or in Portland. I use it occasionally for groceries or getting prescriptions filled in Corvallis. But it's the getting out of the house that makes a big difference to me, and talking to some people.
Absolutely.
Makes a huge difference for me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. And Esmeralda, what would you have to say?
Well, on top of that is the financial piece.
Yeah.
I mean, before Dial-A-Bus, I had to Uber all over the place, and Uber to Safeway, which is a 5-minute drive from my house. It's $25 one way. That's a $50 one trip just to go to Safeway.
Wow.
Not to mention to go up to the hospital, which is a longer drive. I mean, I don't know how I would manage.
Yeah.
I couldn't manage.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing.
I can comment on that a little bit. I agree with her. It saves me money, which is not why I do it. If I could see to drive, I would drive. I still have a vehicle. I got rid of my other one because I can't see to drive it. The one I have left, it gets used for firewood and tow a boat so I can go fishing when my crew can go fishing. I don't get to fish nearly as much. That's what occupied a lot of my summer in previous years. And because I'm not spending as much money on gas or insurance, I make a donation to Dial-A-Bus, and I encourage other people to do it.
Yes, I do too.
Yes.
That's amazing. That is absolutely amazing.
Yes, and it's a nonprofit. They're supported in various ways, but one of the ways is by donation. So I encourage people to do that. It's a way to help people in our society, in our community, that don't have the wherewithal or the ability to get places, and it makes a difference for them.
Absolutely.
I've seen a lot of people in wheelchairs, because sometimes I'm not the only rider, sometimes I am, but I've seen the people that they transport, and they take a lot of them to the hospital, doctor's appointments, really necessary things for people. those are the people that need help in our society, and those of us that can help them, I think, should do so.
Yeah, absolutely. We could not agree more with you here at Central Willamette Credit Union, and that's why we're so just honored to have you all here with us today. It takes all of us. And I think, too, that sometimes people don't necessarily understand just how deep that impact is. Like we were talking about, it's not just a ride. It's that human connection, that social piece, being able to get your needs met in a way that makes you want to keep using the service, too, right? It's enjoyable. All of those pieces matter so deeply. And I think kind of to wrap this up, we would love to know, what would you want other people to know about this service? Maybe especially for those who may not realize how important transportation access really is. If there are some of those key points, what do you want people to know about Dial-A-Bus, why it's so important?
Mm-hmm. Well, Dial-A-Bus, of course, operates within a geographical district. So, however, they'll take you within that district anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And like me, we're sedentary in the house, and if it wasn't for all these doctor appointments and my physical therapy, I don't know what kind of life I would lead. So Dial-A-Bus is very, very important to me in my life. I wouldn't have a life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
5 years ago, I would never have thought that I would need to use Dial-A-Bus. I didn't know about it 5 years ago. But if I had, I wouldn't have thought I'd ever need it. I mean, I've been independent my whole life, like to help other people. Now I'm the one that needs help. I've learned how, I already knew people were good, but I've learned how very helpful they can be. For example, I was in the grocery store yesterday via Dial-A-Bus, and I can't see to find things, so I would ask people for help, and they're always willing to help. I don't remember anyone that I've asked for help in a grocery store or elsewhere when I tell them I'm visually impaired, can you help me for a minute? They always do. And Dial-A-Bus is the same way. All the drivers and the people that work in the office, the dispatchers, the ones we schedule with, they're all very helpful towards people, and it makes a difference. And none of us know when we will need it, like
Absolutely.
I do, or when someone in your family, like Richard's mother, might need it. And we want to keep that there. Esmeralda was talking about the district. It's basically Benton County. They won't take you outside the county, but they'll take you anywhere within the county.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I think that's really profound. And I think kind of part of what we hope with this podcast is that more people will know about Dial-A-Bus who may need it, but also those who may want to support. And going back to your point of, you never know when it is going to be your turn and you will be the person who needs help or somebody in your family. And so to have a service that already exists that those of us can support, I think that is just exactly what, community is about, and coming together and building that together. So thank you.
Not only that, there are other perks with Dial-A-Bus.
Oh, yeah?
Like, I got bought Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas dinner.
Oh, that's great.
So I didn't have to cook. There are these dinners that they have recognition, so they pick you up and bring you in there. You get to meet the drivers, and so
it's a real community.
Oh, yes.
That's amazing.
I'm so proud and happy to have them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Richard, as a driver, what would you like people to know about this service? Like, what is something that you really think you would like people to know who might not know anything about Dial-A-Bus?
Well, I think the important thing is that we can provide the service for people who need the transportation. It's not just for medical appointments. It's for, grocery shopping. It could be for a social activity. But if they can't get to where they need to go, that's what we can do. We can provide them that service.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Lots of the rides that I get are with volunteers. So I also encourage anyone that has the time and is a good driver and likes to help people, to consider volunteering to drive for Dial-a-Bus or Dial-a-Ride in Lynn County. I mean, it's a way to help people, and I know from some of the things I've been on and had done since I retired that there's a good feeling in participating in the community and helping people.
Absolutely. Thank you. And it sounds like you are all true advocates. You're not just, riders, but you are also true advocates for Dial-a-Bus.
Oh, yes.
And I think that that's
Absolutely.
an important piece. So thank you for bringing that up. And thank you so much to all of you for sharing your stories and giving us a glimpse into the real impact of Dial-a-Bus. If you're inspired by what you heard today, we encourage you to learn more about Dial-a-Bus and the incredible work they're doing in our community. Join us next time so we can build better lives together.
The information provided here is for informational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Consult with a qualified financial advisor before making any financial decisions.